There's obviously an ultimate plan for everyone's life. Finding that out is really difficult sometimes because I think for me, I try like the hard way all the time. You know, I started surfing when I was probably 10. We would go over to Santa Cruz all the time. I fell in love with it at an early age. It was just one of these things that like clicked. With surf culture and drugs and drinking, it just kind of like it goes hand in hand. You sit down at the beach and get stoned. And so I kind of adopted some of that living. 16 to 18 up, it was like, you know, go get stoned and go surfing.
When I was in high school, I started struggling with an eating disorder, and it just really got pretty out of control. I ended up at Ramita Ranch, which is a rehab for girls with eating disorder. There was a girl who kind of introduced me to YWAM and kind of just said, hey, this might be a good thing for you. So I just felt like this is gonna be how I can grow and just kind of change. I just wanted to change.
So when I made a decision to go away for college, it was a big deal. You know? Even if it was just 8 hours away in San Diego, it was like all this freedom and I didn't know what to do with it. You know, I thought this was gonna be a good thing. And then literally I got a call on my answering machine. It was just my dad and I could tell he was crying. And he was like, you need to call home. So I call home and then one of my dad's buddies answered the phone and he was like, man, I'm really sorry your mom died. To have that emotional, like, part of my life gone and my mom, you know, dying was like, it was really rough. And I just, you know, I felt lost for a long time. And I started hanging out with my cousin Chris Foe, and he could see firsthand the road that I was kind of going on. And he said, you should move to Hawaii because when I was there, you know, we worked 5 days a week for 6 to 8 hours a day, and then you can go surfing whenever you want. And so he helped me get into YWAM my first time. And it was basically like I just showed up to work. You know, the next thing I know, I'm playing drums in worship time and be a part of that full time. It was like, I was happy. You know, for once in a long time, I was really happy. Then I had met Carrie. I mean, there was something that was appealing to me, obviously. I mean, she's attractive. And there was more than that, though. There was like this glow about her or something that just was different.
Our first year of marriage was really hard. We're trying to figure out being married. So then we left and went to Missouri.
You know, it was great. I felt like this is awesome. You know, it's another new chapter in our life. We get to be a part of this new thing. Some of the issue that I had was with pain pills. I would drink and take those pills and then nothing really mattered.
It was separating us from God. I felt so broken and helpless. I just started crying out to God because I knew He was the only one who could step in.
She had told me, look, I'm trying to find somewhere for you to go. Are you open to that if we find somewhere? You know, it didn't really matter at that point because we were talking about my life. It was to the point where, I mean, I couldn't stop. It just came spiraling down. It felt like I was all alone. Either you change or I'm gonna leave, is how she was laying it out. And I can't lose her because this is like the only thing on earth that like really I like. And that was probably the lowest point. And I can just remember like driving to work, praying like, God, why, you know, why now? Why me? And why won't you help? And I can just remember this voice, and it was like God was saying like, you won't let me. You know, it was like really clear that I was running my life and it wasn't getting any better. And giving up control and going to rehab was one of the best things that's ever happened in my life. I mean, it literally saved my life and saved my marriage. And to come to grips with, like, I probably can't drink, to learn that through the rehab setting and the sober living, and then to go back and to practice that in like real life and real terms with my wife and my kids. And for the grace of God, I haven't been drinking.
He really has totally used this for good and worked a miracle out.
You know, after I had been through rehab, one of the main things that I felt like we were supposed to do as a family is I was supposed to go back to school, because what I really wanted to do was help other addicts and alcoholics. There was this program at Bethany called the CPAC, and it was the certification program for addiction counseling. It was run by Christian guys that have a rehab in Santa Cruz, and they taught me a lot about like, what does it mean to be addicted to something? How do you help others that are also addicted? And so during that time, I worked at a rehab for probably, I think it was like 3 years.
I think we just want to put ourselves in a position to be used.
So we're helping the YWAM ships. And then in the long-term goal for us is to see, you know, lives changed in the islands for sure, just because I was a part of it. But when people are caught in addiction like I was, or Carrie, it's really hard to see any hope or like the light at the end of the tunnel. I have like tons of hope now. There is a better future, and there is a better, you know, way for us and for me to direct my family. Even though this is kind of crazy for, you know, all intents and purposes, to pick up 4 little kids and to move to Hawaii and to live on support and to be a full-time missionary.
And just to see him use everything that we've been through for good. Right?
Yeah, like going full circle. You know, God's not going out looking for the people who are all clean and like ready to go with the money and the this and that. It's like the people that are broken and they don't have anywhere to turn. And those were the ones that Jesus wanted to go to first. This is probably one of the best things that's ever happened to us. I mean, as crazy as that seems, this is what we've been waiting for.